Hi, everyone. Welcome to the webinar. I'm Miranda Pruitt. I'm with Member Solutions. I'm on our marketing team. I'll be filling in today for Jennifer Miller, who unfortunately couldn't be with us today. So we are about to talk about how to use Facebook ads to sell more memberships. And I personally am really excited about this topic because as a marketer, I'm constantly looking for more information on how to advertise effectively on Facebook, and it continues to become more and more challenging. There are changes being made to Facebook almost every day. There's more and more competition for advertising on Facebook as a platform, which means it's getting more expensive and harder to target the right people. And we know that as business owners, martial arts schools, gyms, yoga studios, you all deal with these same challenges that we face as well on Facebook. So that's why we wanted to put together this webinar and bring in a great expert. We've got Eric Charles Russell on the call with us, and he's going to tell you all of his tips and secrets, and he's done a lot of Facebook advertising, has some great stories to share. And just a little bit about Eric. He's the owner of Premier Martial Arts and Fitness in Watertown, New York. He's owned and operated several businesses, martial arts schools, gyms, and other types of businesses as well. And he's been able to grow them all quickly and successfully because of his expertise in sales and the sales process. And that led to him writing a book on his sales process called The Art of Selling Memberships. It was a bestseller on Amazon. And he's also a well-known presenter, both for Member Solutions on many of the topics that our clients need to know about, as well as at lots of industry events. And he also is the founder of the Membership Sales Academy, where he teaches his sales process and tips to other business owners. And just a couple of quick technical notes for the webinar today. We will have a Q&A session at the end, so please stick around. There's going to be the opportunity to ask your questions specific to your business and the ads that you want to run at the end. So please do stay through the whole session. And on that note, please type your questions into the chat box at any time. We'll get to them at the end. We'll answer as many as we can. So Eric, really happy to have you here.
Thanks. I'm happy to be here. I appreciate the introduction. And a couple things on that too with the Q&A. I'm going to go through the process pretty quick, especially if it's your first time kind of seeing Facebook lead ads. It's going to seem really quick. So feel free to ask questions, and I believe we're going to have this as a resource later on for you to go back and review.
Absolutely.
Am I right on that? If I'm not right on that.
Absolutely. No,
okay,
you are definitely correct. Yeah, this is some detailed information. So you'll be able to watch this again. There will be a recording sent out, and you can also get a copy of the slides at the end. So
perfect. And the beauty of what we're going to be working on today is, as Miranda mentioned, is Facebook lead ads do not change as much as everything else does. And I'm going to get into that a little bit and why lead ads are something that, number one, work really well, but also Facebook love lead ads. So they love when you use them. So we're going to get into that a little bit too. So yeah, that's it. I'm excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to share some results with you. I'm going to take you step by step exactly what we need to do. I see we got people still logging in. Should we give them 30 more seconds, or should we just say, look, if you're late, you're late? I don't know. Why don't you guys type in and say where you're from? Where are you from, and what kind of business do you have? That way we're doing something.
Check out that chat box.
We'll test out the chat box and see if it's working while I drink coffee. And this is what I call a 1 cup of coffee presentation. That's how I judge everything.
We want you well caffeinated.
As you drink your water and be healthy, and I'm inhaling like I need more caffeine in my life. Thousand Oaks, California.
Excellent.
Martial arts school, very good. Canada's checking in. Another Californian.
Minnesota.
Minnesota. I'm like in the Minnesota of New York. In other words, we get a lot of snow and it's really cold right now. Or the Chicago of New York. There's Chicago. Rhode Island. Very cool. Yeah, and also what I'm going to be sharing with you today is applicable to youth programs or adult programs. I'm going to actually give you the ad copy for what we did in December. I just started this with a client the other day. So I'm going to give you that exact ad copy somehow. I think we're going to give it to you as a download. I mean, I'm not going to send it snail mail. So somehow we'll get it to you. Maybe we'll email it. All right, cool. Why don't we get rocking and rolling? Looks like we got people from all over the country.
Yeah, it's great.
That's awesome. Welcome. I'm excited. So let's go ahead and get rocking and rolling, and let's do this. I got to share my screen. Hold on a second here. All right. So how to use Facebook lead ads to grow your business. Let's get right into this bad boy. Let me tell you a little bit real quick about myself. I know that Miranda mentioned it a little bit, but just to reiterate, some of you know me, some of you don't. I've been in this business for 29 years. That's martial arts side. I've been in the fitness side as a program director, owner, coach, all that good stuff. And I failed English in high school twice, but somehow managed to write a #1 international best-selling book called The Art of Selling Memberships. And so I've been at it as an entrepreneur since I was 11 years old. I grew up pretty poor, so I kind of had to make my own money if I wanted something. Just a little interesting fact about me, but I've been at the entrepreneurial game for a long time. And I just happen to have an affinity for the martial arts and fitness business. I'm still an owner to this day. What I'm going to share with you today, and I guess what my promise is that I'm going to show you exactly how to increase your leads and grow your business with Facebook lead ads. Sorry for the typo there. But I'm going to show you exactly what we're doing and how we're doing it so that you can implement it in your business and you can also apply it to your business. Now, if you stick around at the end, I will answer all of your questions. So stay tuned for that. I'll do a question and answer session at the end if you have any questions for me. So let's talk about some proof here. I want to show you a couple different things here. One on the left is the campaign that I ran in November. There's an adult one and there's a youth one. You can see the adult one, I spent about $350 for it. It generated 42 leads and it cost me about $8 per lead. Okay, now this campaign I ran for 6 days. This wasn't for the whole month. I just ran it for 6 days. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit. Why do I do short-term campaigns as opposed to running them throughout the month? And then my kids campaign, I spent about $240 for that, and that produced 20 leads, or about $11.90 per lead. Now, the image on the left is a screenshot from one of my clients that I started, that I had him start a campaign, this exact campaign for December. And I'm going to give you the ad copy and all that good stuff as well. But this is what he texted me just a couple hours after starting the campaign. He said he's got 5 leads already. It's been 2 hours. And if you look like towards the bottom, you can kind of see that I asked him how much he's getting per lead, and he kind of broke it down by age range. And while we were texting, another lead came in. So within the first 2 hours of starting this campaign, he had generated 6 leads, and it cost him about $10 for that. So you can see that what I'm going to share with you works. These are real results. These are real screenshots. These aren't something that I'm just kind of pulling out of thin air.
I spend my own money on this stuff to produce leads. My clients spend their own money on it to produce leads, and I'm going to teach you the exact same thing. What I want you to understand, though, is we got to have the disclaimer here. Results aren't typical because the average person who shows up for these things, they get Zippo, and the biggest reason why they don't get results is they don't implement. Okay, so you've got to take what I'm giving you and apply it. You've got to have some faith that when you spend a couple bucks on this, you're going to get a similar return. Okay? So, when you look at how much I spent on, you go, "Oh my God, you spent 350 bucks in 6 days." Well, those 40 leads produced multiple thousands of dollars in membership sales. I don't know the number off the top of my head, but the last campaign that I did, it averaged about $1,000 per lead that we were making. Because when you factor in equipment purchases, initial payments, and paid in fulls, however that averages out, it's pretty significant. So when you're producing a lead, somebody's saying, "Hey, I'm interested." Now it's your job to close them, to get them to become a member, and that's where your sales process needs to kind of kick in. So I say this to you as a warning, but I also say it to you as a piece of, I guess, motivational advice. Apply what I'm sharing with you because it's working for a lot of different people. It's working for me, it's working for my clients, and I'm sharing with you exactly what we're doing. So why are we using Facebook lead ads? Okay, now Facebook lead ads, they're a specific type of ad within Facebook. Okay, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to go inside my ad account, I'm going to show you how to find it, how to utilize it, and all that good stuff, how to set it all up. But it's a specific thing. And the reason why we use Facebook lead ads, this is just one type of ad that I use on Facebook and that my clients use on Facebook. The results that I showed you earlier are from these lead ads. Okay, it's not from some other kind of campaign. These are from lead ad campaigns. But one of the reasons, or I want to just tell you why we use these Facebook lead ads. First of all, it's not complicated to set it up. You don't have to worry about installing a pixel on your website or even knowing what the heck a pixel is, even, or where to find it within your ad. So there's really not a complicated setup to this. It's pretty simple. You don't have to worry about having some kind of landing page to send people to, and making sure that's set up and the copy on that is good or any of those things. So you don't have to worry about having a landing page. The other thing is Facebook loves lead ads, and they love it because their users don't have to leave Facebook in order to take advantage of your offer. Okay? So they love them. And when Facebook loves something, they put weight behind it. So if you have a competitor who's using an ad that takes them off of the Facebook site, and you're using a Facebook lead ad that keeps them on the Facebook site, Facebook is going to favor your ads a little bit more. Now there's some other factors that they look into as well. That's not the only factor, but with all things equal, and you're using Facebook lead ads and they're using um, ads that take them off the Facebook site, you're going to um, have a little bit of an advantage in that sense, okay? Because Facebook wants people staying on their platform. All right. The other thing is it's super easy for prospects to give you their info. They don't have to fill anything out. Facebook already has their information, so it automatically populates and sends it to you when somebody's interested, which is super cool because again, people on Facebook, they don't want to sit there and fill out forms and all that stuff. And since Facebook already has their info, they just send it right along. And the other part of that is the information is it's very good information because they're using it for their Facebook account. It's not like they're giving you some dummy email or some dummy phone number. It's the email and phone number that's associated with their Facebook account. So the information that prospects is given to you, not only is it easy for them to give it to you, but it's accurate. You're not going to be getting some random emails and things along those lines. So that's why we use Facebook lead ads. The results, you're going to get better results because of these things, and that's ultimately, if I'm going to sum everything up, that's ultimately why we're using Facebook lead ads, because results. Okay, so let's talk about how do we, first and foremost, we've got to set a promotional budget. And what I mean by promotional budget is, what are we going to give away as a promotion? What are we going to do as a promotion? I'm not talking about how much money we're going to spend on Facebook or spend on our lead ads. I'm talking about the offer itself. Okay? I want to know how much I can offer. What can I give away that makes my offer stand out from what everybody else is doing? So in order to do that, I don't just want to randomly go, okay, well, I'm going to give away this, this, and this, and get all nervous about it because, I don't know if I'm making money or losing money or what's going on with it. So this is how we figure this out. First, we want to know what our revenue per appointment is. Okay? And the reason why I want to know revenue per appointment is because I'm not going to give away any of the promotional stuff unless people are showing up, right? So if they don't show up for an appointment, then there's no cost associated with my giveaway. They have to actually show up in order to get whatever I'm giving away, whether it's gloves or uniform or gym bag or meal plans or whatever it might be, okay? So I want to look at it per appointment. Now, the reason that I go revenue per appointment is because when I'm looking at the appointments, I want to know how much I'm bringing in on average per appointment. Now, not every appointment is going to buy a membership, okay? But overall, when it's averaged out, you'll have a number for that, okay? And so how do you figure that number out? You take the total amount of initial payments, whatever that is for your given time period, and the farther back you can go with this, the better, because it's going to give you more of a better average, better data. If you just go back 1 month, you'll get an idea. But if you go back a year, you're going to have better data in terms of your averages, okay? But I want to look at initial payments because that's the initial money coming in. I don't want to count future payments. I don't want to count future tuition. I only want to count initial payments. This is equipment purchase, paid in fulls, and initial payments on a membership, okay? So when I look at that, I go, okay, so let's just use whatever time frame it is. It doesn't really matter. But in that time frame that I'm looking at, we brought in $5,000 in initial payments, okay? And in that same time frame, we had 40 appointments. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that 5,000 that we took in initial payments, and I'm going to divide it by 40 appointments. That's going to equal $125 per appointment. That's my average revenue. Okay? So now I know for every appointment that I have, I can count on $125 in revenue.
So we're taking the actual number of the initial payments, the amount of the initial payments, and we're dividing that by our appointment. Okay? That's going to give us our appointment value. That number is what we're going to use as a guideline to determine what we give out for our promo. So if it's $125 per appointment, then I know, heck, I can give out some free gloves. I can give out a free uniform. I can give out meal plans, a free month, something along those lines. But it gives me a good guideline so I know what I can give out and still be profitable on those appointments. Okay, so that's an important number to really understand and to have when we're determining what we're going to offer in our promotion. Okay? The more aggressive you are with your promotion, the more you'll have people want to take advantage of it. Okay? There's a marketing guy named Dan Kennedy who always said, the one who's willing to spend the most money to get a customer will win when it comes to head competition. Okay? It doesn't mean you need to spend everything you got to get a customer, because obviously that's not going to work. But the point is this: know what you can spend, and then determine how much of that you want to spend. If you want to be a little more aggressive with the leads and how many you want and how many you need, then you spend a little bit more in terms of your promotion stuff. Okay? So that's why that's an important number to have. You don't just want to kind of shoot in the dark for it and kind of go, oh, okay, this looks good. All right? Can you make money on that initial part? Yes, you can, but you've got to figure out what that number is. Okay. As far as the ads and the ad copy itself, okay, I want to go over this with you because there's some specific things as it relates to ads. Number one is we want to use top of mind awareness when we're running our ads. And by that, I mean, what's going on this month? What's going on next month? Whenever I'm advertising, I want to work along the lines of what is being talked about. This is how we get on top of mind. So if it's back to school, I'm going to be talking back to school. I don't care if it's adults or youth. I'm talking back to school even to adults. Okay? October, I'm talking about scary specials. I'm talking about spooky whatever. Okay? November, we got Black Friday. That's one day. I use Black Friday the whole dang month. Right? I just call it the Black Friday month. All right? So, because it's a huge top of mind, or you can tie in with Thanksgiving or whatever the heck it might be. Okay? December, what do we got going on in December? Right? It's holiday season. It's, like what we're going to cover. It's the holiday season. You're doing all these things for everybody. You deserve something for yourself. And boom, it resonates. Okay? So, top of mind awareness is important. What's going on in the marketplace? And I'm not saying with your competition. Don't worry about your competition. I'm talking about the marketplace. What are the big guns out there advertising? Okay? And then you tie in with that kind of a thing. The second thing is, I said top of mind awareness, and then you've got limited quantity and limited time. You need to create limited promotions, because what that does is it creates urgency for the prospect to act. If they know they can get this special at any old time, they're not going to take action on it as quickly as when there's urgency involved in it. Okay? I've tried all kinds of different ways where I've left offers open. And as soon as you start adding urgency, and the urgency has to be sincere, it can't just be, some kind of fake urgency. If you say you're going to end it at a certain number and a certain time and a date, that's when you end it. It doesn't mean you can't bring it back next month. Maybe you offer 30, like we do 30 voucher kind of a thing. And typically, I'm only running my ads for a week because it literally gets maxed out. I showed you in the slide, I hope you saw that in the beginning, where we did 70 leads in 6 days. Okay? That's for a martial arts school and that program, that's a lot to handle in a week. And it's a challenge to get all those people in. And so you gotta, it's a wrap. Then we get into the next month, if whatever we're going to be doing there. Okay? But the bottom line is you want to have urgency for the offer. Then it ends, and then you do maybe one in December. Okay? And the December one, you can do 30 again in December. Okay? But you do got to have a time urgency and a quantity urgency. It will improve your offers in a significant way. Okay. I want to show you the actual ad copy you're going to be able to download this, so I'm not going to spend a ton of time on it. But what I want to show you about this is I want to show you how the template works so that you can actually modify it for any month. It doesn't matter what the month is. Okay, this template is a template that we use over and over and over again, and there's only slight changes that we make to it. And as owners, this is important, right? You got time to sit there and write marketing copy every freaking month, every week, or whatever? You don't. Okay, but you only need to change a couple things with this. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna experiment. I'm gonna try to share my screen again. Hopefully this works. So let's try this. All right, this is the exact ad. The guy that I mentioned earlier, right? And I showed you the text. This is the exact ad that he's using right now. And I wish I had an update on where he's at. We literally just started this a couple days ago. So this is working right now. All right. And here's the thing. This part right here. Okay, you see where I'm highlighting? Miranda, is that coming through? The little highlighted part? Okay, perfect.
Yep, I can see that fine.
This is the top of mind awareness part. This is where I'm going to talk about. You can see the holiday season is a busy time. If you're like most of us, you're busy planning holiday meals, parties, shopping for friends, family, and you deserve something for yourself. So with the holiday season upon us, take the time to treat yourself, and then we get into our offer. Okay? So this is all we really change. But there's not a whole lot you change in here. You might be talking about Black Friday month. You might be talking about Halloween or whatever it might be. But this is where that's going to go in this top part. The offer does change depending on what you want to offer. But for the most part, you want to keep it to a couple things here. One, we right away are setting up the urgency part. We're only doing 30 of these. Okay, so once the 30 are taken, that's it. They're done. The other thing is, what are we giving out? Well, free classes. This happens to be kickboxing. Free kickboxing class for the rest of 2018. And you're going to get a free pair of gloves. So what's this net costing us? The gloves probably $15, right? The class itself, we're teaching it anyway, so it's not really out-of-pocket kind of cost here. All right? So this promo is really costing us out-of-pocket $15, $20. And the other part is, like I mentioned earlier, we go over appointments because we only have to really pay when an appointment shows up, because you can't send boxing gloves through email, right? At least not that I know of. If you can invent that, you're on a whole nother level. But the boxing gloves, they actually have to show up. If they show up, that $20 cost, now you have an opportunity to sell them a membership. And we know what our closing rate is when they show up. We know on average we're going to bring in, if we're using my example before, $125. The cost is $20. Plus the ad, maybe it costs us $10 for the ad. Now we're up to $30. We're still making money on this, right on the initial payment. Okay, so we could even be more aggressive with this if we wanted to. We could add a meal plan in here. We could add nutrition counseling, something along those lines if we wanted to. Okay, and then we summarize what the offer is. And again, here's the urgency. The next section is about the benefits. Real quick, here are the benefits you're getting when you're training. Again, urgency one more time. Whoop, I just messed that up. And then direct them to tell them what to do. Okay, click the video for the offer. Okay, which, by the way, as it relates to the images and the videos and all that stuff, which one's better? Videos tend to do really, really well. But there's also, you can use images and I've seen images outpull some videos. Okay, this is one part where you're going to want to test it a little bit and see what is working best for you. I will give you I will give you a little bit of a tip here. When you're using pictures, you want to use pictures that have a kind of that lean towards happy, meaning people smiling, multiple people in the picture that tend to give off a good vibe. A lot of times I see, especially in the martial arts, where they want to use self-defense pictures or self-defense videos where somebody's, defending off an attacker. Facebook hates that, and they will penalize your ad in the form of making it cost more to show it to people. If you're doing happy and you're doing things that generally give off a good vibe in your pictures and your videos, Facebook loves that. They will do more. They will show more of that at a cheaper rate. Okay, it's very important to understand that. They want users to stick around, and they know what their users want, and their users, believe it or not, with all the complaining and all the stuff on Facebook, their users want to be happy. So it's important that your images in your videos portray that. You will get a lot better response, and Facebook will show it to people at a lower cost. Okay, so that's important. The other thing in here with this is I'm also going to give you the kids ad as well. Okay, so if you have a kids program, it's the same idea. Okay, the offer, the whole deal, everything's in there, so you'll get that as well. All right, so that's the ad itself. All right. Now, last part of this, take a swig of my coffee. The last part of this is actually how to create the actual lead ad itself, the Facebook lead ad, right? So let me.
Eric, let's just check in one more time with everyone and make sure everyone's still with us. Could you go ahead and type in if you can still see and hear us okay? While you go ahead and switch that, Eric.
Yeah. Don't want to get
And
too
I
far.
have been, I've been sharing files as we go here to try and, if you had missed anything, we tried to backtrack. We weren't sure where the video cut out there. So, I uploaded the slides for a little while there, and then I uploaded the Facebook ad copy, which we'll send out via email later as well.
Okay, good. All right, Marco, I see.
All right.
Can you see the kids ad again? Marco, we're going to give you we're going to give you both of those ads. So don't worry about it. Right?
Yep.
You'll have
and you can actually, you should see a file available for download right now. So you can grab that now, or it will also be emailed out to you.
Okay, where's the file? Under file sharing? Oh, I see it.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Sweet. I'm learning something about this. I'm learning and teaching at the same time. Look at this.
Constantly learning. That's why we're all here.
We'll also send a quick follow-up email with all this stuff in it too.
Yep.
Just to make sure we're covering all the bases. Okay, so do not worry. You will get everything we're talking about here.
Okay.
Because I didn't see.
Yeah, it looks like some of you are not able to see it.
Okay.
Yep.
You will get it.
Don't worry. Trusty email will make sure that you receive it.
All right, perfect. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go into my ad account. I'm going to show you how to create these lead ads. Okay, there's specific ads within Facebook, as I talked about earlier. But I'm going to go into my account and I'm going to show you how to do this so you can see it step by step. And again, you'll be able to watch this later too. And if you have questions, I'll answer them at the end. All right, so this is the last part. So let's jump into this, where we're going to create these lead ads. All right. So in what I'm not going to cover is how to create an ad account in Facebook. Okay. Because that's a whole other step-by-step thing. It's an easy process because Facebook wants you to advertise with them. So you need to create an ad account through your Facebook page. Okay, you can figure that part out on your own. All right. So once you've created that, you're going to have what's called this is the Ads Manager page, and on the ad, well, there's an Ads Manager page that it takes you to, and in that Ads Manager, you're going to have options there, and one of them is create a campaign. So we want to click create a campaign. All right, it's a green button. You'll see it. You can't miss it. Now, once we click create a campaign, it's going to bring us to this screen. Okay, and there's different types of marketing objections here. Okay, and you can spend a lot of money trying to figure this out and going crazy with this stuff. And one of the reasons that I know about what I know on Facebook is because I have actually done that. and as a matter of fact, I still do that. I still test things out. I still try different things because it's truly the only way to really get some things honed in and have a great understanding for what you're using. The drawback to it is that it's expensive. So whenever I'm teaching something, you got to understand what I'm teaching you is not experimental stuff. Teaching you stuff that's working right now. So that's a huge benefit to everybody here that's on this webinar. Because I'm not going to show you experimental stuff. It's just, that's not my style. I don't want you experimenting with my advice. I want to give you stuff that's actually working. So that's what we're doing here. All right. So of these 3 marketing objectives, I want to select lead generation. Okay, it's this one right here in the middle. Consideration and then lead generation. I click that. Now, once I click that, it's going to give me my options for naming it and all that good stuff. My computer is being a little bit slow, so give me a second here. Got my little spinners. But what it's going to do is it's going to take me to where I can name my campaign. You want to name your campaign, and you want to name it so that you stay organized. So I would call this December. We're going to do adult ad, adult lead ad. Okay, this is the campaign. So that way when I look in my ads manager, I can see all of my campaigns. The one that's called December lead ad tells me exactly what it is. It's my adult lead ad campaign for December. Okay, and you're going to want to keep it organized because after you start doing it month after month, you're going to want to compare some things. You want to go and look and see what worked last December, what worked in the summer, what worked in whatever month. Okay. The other thing is if you have multiple businesses, you're going to have multiple Facebook pages. You just want to make sure you're using the right Facebook page for this. Okay. Now we're in the section that's called ad set. This is your audience. Okay. This is who you're going to show the ads to. All right. And there's 3 age ranges that we're going to be working with here. And the reason that we do the 3 age ranges is because I want to break it down so that I can see which one is responding better, because I might turn ads off to a certain age range because it's not working out well for me. And I might put more ad money into an age range that is. And I'm going to give you the guideline to start with, but then you kind of want to narrow it down and find the sweet spot for what's working in your area. And I will tell you that areas do make a difference. I have a client that it's weird because he gets a better response out of an older age range than I do. And I don't know why, but that's just the way it is. And we would not know that except for the fact that we test it. okay? And again, testing is important. If you see something that's working well, you put more money into it, and you see something that's not working that well, you put less money into it. But this is where we do it. The other thing is, when it comes to fitness and it comes to Facebook marketing, your the best response, the best engagement, the most shares, and the cheapest to reach are women. Okay, so when I run ads, I very rarely run ads to men. Okay, now that does not mean I don't get leads from men. Okay, because what happens is I'll market to women, they'll share the ad, that ad goes to all of their friends, including guys, but I don't have to pay for it. Okay, so if I'm trying to get the lowest cost, the biggest response, the best engagement, then I'm going to be marketing to women. Okay, and that's what I suggest you do if you want those same things. So this audience, just remember ad set is audience. Okay, it's an easy way to. So for this, I'm going to put women, and the first age range that I'm going to start with is 21 to 29. Okay, now keep in mind, if you're marketing to kids, for your kids program, you do not want to go. You do not want to start at 21 years old, because you're going to market to a 21-year-old parent. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because how old do you start kids at? Even if you started kids at 3 years old, that means that person had a kid when they were 18. Okay? And with that being said, if you're marketing to a person who had a child when they were 18, chances are they're not going to be in the demographic to purchase membership or to purchase lessons from you. Okay, or younger. If you start them at 5, I mean, that's kind of borderline, actually. 18 isn't that crazy. But think about if you start at 5, right? That means they had a kid when they were 16. By the time they're 21, they still ain't got life figured out yet, for the most part. Okay? So you got to keep that stuff in mind. So you might want to bump that age up a little bit there when you're talking about marketing kids programs, all right? This is for an adult ad. A 21-year-old, good to go. Okay, they can make their own decisions. They probably got a job, all that good stuff. All right? So that's the first one. The second one is 30 to 39. Okay, and I'm just going to create a whole new ad set within my campaign. And then the third one is 40 to 49. Those are the 3 age ranges that I'm targeting for this, because that's the best response that I've seen. And then you can narrow it down a little bit based on what you get for a response. Okay? And you want to call it whatever it is you're targeting here. Okay? So women 21 to 29. Boom. Scroll down here. Okay, so now I've got to pick the location. All right? And the location is where I live. And I live in Watertown, New York. And what the heck is going on? Hold on. Watertown, New York. There we go. Wasn't showing up. Okay, 25-mile radius is cool. Again, you got to kind of know what works for you. And down here, I got to select my ages again. 21 to 29. 21, 29. Women. Okay, and then over here it's showing me, okay, you got 13,000 people in that age range, in that area, who are women. Okay? All right. Everything else, leave it. Don't mess with it. Automatic placement, let it be. Okay? Later on, you may want to mess with this stuff, but see, Facebook's delivery system is like super advanced. And unless you really know what you're doing, you don't want to mess with it too much. Let Facebook do the work. Let them go find the people who are interested and who are gonna take advantage of your offer, because they'll figure that out for you. They want you getting results. And if you're making Facebook happy and you're running positive ads and you're running good content and you're a trusted Facebook page, then they're going to want to run your ads because they want you spending money. They want you getting results. And if you're getting results, you're going to continue to spend money. So let Facebook do its work here. As far as your budget, okay, again, don't mess with any of this stuff because you're getting into territory where you're going to need a little more expertise than what I'm providing for you here. And you're going to need some experience in messing with this. Daily budget, though, you can start this anywhere from $5 to $20 a day. I typically don't do anything less than $20 a day per age group. So I'm running 3 age groups. That's $60 a day. It sounds like a lot of money. When it's all said and done, it's not, because I'm going to fill up that pipeline super quick and be done with it. But as you could see from before, on both of my campaigns for that week, I spent like $500 total. Okay, so it wasn't a huge amount of money. In it may seem like you might go, well, yeah, no, $500 is $500, but think about it. Out of $500, how many? I got 70 leads. How many do I need to sign up to turn a profit on that? Not very many. Okay, and we absolutely crushed it. Obviously, you get 70 leads and you don't sign up 30, 40 people, then you need some help with your sales process too. Okay, but yeah, it turned into a pretty significant amount of money, return on investment for us. So yeah. So anyway, you determine there. I wouldn't go $5 a day, and if you're not super comfortable with 20, then go 10. Okay, you can always change it, you can always update it, but I typically start at 20 for this, just because I know I'm going to get it. If you still want to work on your confidence a little bit and start with 10, rock and roll. Okay, but that's what I do. Okay, everything else you're keeping the same. You're going to click continue. It's going to take you now over to the ad creation part. This is where you're actually you're creating the ad part of it. Okay, and you want to name this. Also, again, you want to stay organized with this. So I'm going to call this my You Deserve This ad, I think is what we're calling this. Sorry, my computer's slow. All right. So the ad name is You Deserve This, and then I'm either going to use a single image or single video. That's what I do. I don't mess with carousel. I don't mess with slideshows. I don't do any of that stuff. Okay, again, I gave you really what you need to be looking for as far as the images and then in the video stuff. And then down here, it's going to give me a little preview of what I got going on, what the ad's going to look like. Okay, and I like to look at it on both desktop. It'll give me a preview, even though it's not right now, and mobile. Okay, now once we get to this point, we got to put our text in, and that's where we come back over to our ad. We copy all of our text. Come back over to our manager, and we paste it in here. Boom. Done. And there it is. Now, I would mess with the formatting a little bit here. Okay, so it's spaced out properly and, all that good stuff. But this is what it's going to look like right here. Okay, let me see if the desktop's working on it. Nope. Not sure why, but whatever. And this is what people are going to see. They're going to see the thing that's grabbing the attention, what's going on. The holiday season is a busy time. It's almost like it's not even an ad. Okay, even though it says sponsored right there. Okay, and then this little click more button will reveal the rest of it. Okay? And don't worry about this being long. Long ads work really, really well. Okay? The next thing that we want to do is see this little thing here that says sign up. That's a scary word. We want to put in there get offer. Okay? So we have a little call to action button. We want to say get offer. And then the headline is what we're offering for our promo. Because that's going to show up right here next to the get offer, and that's going to kind of stand out a little bit. So I would say free kickboxing classes and free boxing gloves. Okay, and you can kind of see what it's looking like right here. Okay, the ad's done. All right, simple. You got your copy done. You got a cool picture in there. Now we've got to create what's called the lead form. Okay, and this is the difference between what normal ads are and what a lead ad is. Okay, this is a form that it's simple to create. I'm going to show you how to do it. You can see I got a bunch in here. I like to create them for every different offer that I have. Okay, you're just going to come down here. You're going to click new form. Okay, now here we are with our little new form option. If you selected a video or an image, it's going to appear right here on the right. Okay, I didn't select one, so that's why you don't see it there. But we want to title our form, whatever it might be. So we're going to call this December Adult Lead Ad. Or you could even call it, Adult Lead Ad. I like to create a new form every single time I do a promo. Reason being is, you see over here on the right where it says headline text and all that, I want it to reflect what the promotion is. So you need a new form for that every time. But it's not a big deal to create this, as you're going to see. Okay, so I just name it what it is. I'm going to click settings over here because I want to show you something that's important, and sometimes people miss this. Down here on the sharing part, it's automatically selected for restricted. You want that to be open. That way, people can share your ad. If you don't select open, there won't be any share button for it. Okay, and you're going to lose out a lot of engagement if you don't do that. So you want to make sure, not only are you going to lose out engagement, but people are going to comment on there, hey, make this shareable, which is annoying. Okay, so you want to have this open so that people can share it. Now let's talk about the content of the form itself. Number one, we're going for more volume because we want it easy to fill out. Okay, if you go higher intent, there's another step that's involved in it, and more steps will create less action. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're going more volume with this. Okay, so that's the form type, more volume. Intro. This is where we're going to put our headline again. Okay, so I'm going to summarize what's going on here. So, free classes, kickboxing classes, free boxing gloves. Okay, I'm not going to get crazy with typing all this stuff out, but you get the idea. It's going to appear over here. On the right is what they're seeing when they click your ad. Okay, it's a little preview of what they're going to see. So when they click my ad, I want them to see, okay, who it's from and what this is about. Oh yeah, the free class, the free boxing, whatever. Okay. Now the image I'm going to use is the image from my ad. I always want to have the image from my ad because, again, they just clicked over and now I want them to see the same thing. I want it to be consistent. Okay. And then here is what I put in the ad. Okay. It's literally just copy and paste what I put in the ad. Okay. Boom. Simple. All right. And that's what our intro is going to look like. Questions. What I want on my questions, you're automatically going to have email and full name. Okay. So you see here, email and full name. I also want phone number. So I come in here and I click phone number. Okay. That's it. I just leave this how it is. It says enter info below. That's it. I don't mess with that. So now in order for them to submit it, they've got to use their email, full name, and phone number. And like I said earlier, this is all filled out already. All they have to do is click submit. So it's all done. It's super easy for them. Okay. The other thing here is you've got to have a privacy policy link. So if you don't have one on your website right now, first of all, that's not good SEO. You need to have a privacy policy. And eventually it's going to be like a legal requirement. Like I'm pretty sure like in Europe, they got some kind of thing where you have to have a privacy policy. Pretty soon everybody's going to have them. If you don't have one, you really need one anyway. So make sure you get one. If you have like a website like from 97 Display or something like that, they have them built into it. So you can just go to it. Just go to the bottom of your page, click privacy policy, and put the link in here. You've got to have that in here in order to be able to do a lead ad. You won't be able to run a lead ad if you don't have that. As you can see right here, it says required. They mean it. It's required. Okay? And then the last part is the thank you. Okay? Now on the thank you, this is a kind of a key thing. Okay? On the thank you, I want to say thank you for your interest. Something along those lines, okay? But in this little description part, I'm going to add another level of urgency here. And what I'm going to say to them is I'm going to say, we are going to reach out to call you to book your first appointment. I want to let them know that ahead of time. In the event that we can't get a hold of you, we're going to give your spot to the next available person. So please take our call when we reach out to you, or better yet, you can call us. And then we put our phone number. Call the business. You can see on the bottom it just changed. I'm going to type call us. Secure your spot. And then I'm going to put my phone number in here. Now, when they click that little blue button, it's going to call us. And we're going to be able to book them instantly. It's important in the description that we put, we are going to call you. So that they're expecting our call. And if we can't get a hold of you, your spot's going to go to the next available person. And that better and a better idea is for you to call us. Okay? So that's that. And now our form is done. Simple as that. Yes, I'm not saving any of that. So once the form's done, then we just come over here and we click confirm. And that's it. Wait for the leads to roll in. All right. All right, that's that. So let me switch back over and let's see what you got for questions. Stop sharing that.
All right.
All right. I already see one question. If you guys have questions, throw them in there. I'll answer them. I know we went a little bit over, but we had, technical, what do we call it? We don't want to say difficulty. That's a bad word. Technical
Some
fun.
hiccups. I know we do have a couple of questions. There's one that I thought was a good technical question. Maybe we can start with that from Robert. Are you running multiple ad sets in the same lead ad, or are you running 3 different lead ads? I think this is when you were talking about the different age ranges that you do for the women in your area that you're targeting.
Yep. So one campaign, okay, one campaign. Within that campaign, I'm going to have multiple ad sets. So what I just did, I showed you how to create one ad set. Now what I would do is I would go back to that campaign, click campaign. It's going to take me to my ad set. It's only going to show one in there now. I'm going to click duplicate. Because when I click duplicate, all the work I just did is duplicated. So I don't have to friggin' type out everything, go through all that again. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit that ad set for the age difference. So the only thing I got to do is duplicate it and then edit and change the age, and that's it. Okay? So am I running multiple ad sets in the same lead ad? The answer is yes. Multiple, and those ad sets, for those of you who are still trying to get this, those ad sets are your audiences. I'm running multiple audiences. And the reason being, I could run an ad that went women 21 to 50. I could do that. But you know what? That does not give me the information I need to pinpoint who's really responding. Because if it's ages 21 to 29, and I'm getting nothing from 39 or from 31 to 40, why would I continue to spend money on 31 to 40? Now I can pinpoint, I can break it down. I can tell you in my area, 27 to 39 is like our sweet spot. So you won't even see me test a whole bunch with that age range. I go right to 27 to 39 because that's where I'm putting all my money. That's where I'm getting my best response. And this is over spending 30 grand on in ads on this type of a thing to figure this out. Okay, so you find it and you go, okay, this is what's working for me. 31 to 39 is like working really well. I'm getting a little bit in 21 to 29 too. Well, let me try 27 to 39. And then you realize that's 90% of where your leads are coming from. Another thing to look at is when they actually come in and they become a member, what's their age? That'll also help you. Okay?
Yeah, looking at your current customers is a great tip.
Yep, absolutely. It'll give you a good idea who's already buying from you, so go get them.
Yep.
Go after them.
I have another question here that has to do with, I think this is math related. It's, can you explain again how to calculate the cost of appointments?
Okay.
And I think this is maybe where the slides went out when we had our technical difficulties, so maybe that's why this needs a little more
cost of
information.
appointment is, I don't really care. I want to look at revenue per appointment. I mean, I to a certain degree, when it comes to business statistics, I am looking at that cost because I'm paying commissions, I'm paying marketing, I'm paying promotion costs, that the things I'm giving away. So I do look at that. But when it comes to marketing, if I know an appointment on average generates $125, I'm willing to spend every penny of that. Me personally, because I will be super aggressive if I need to be. Okay? Because guess what? I'm going to get it back on the back end. Now, it's also, there's a little bit of a risk there. Because if you're willing to spend 100% of your initial revenue that's coming in, there's no guarantee they're going to stick with you. So in the business that we're in, if they don't stick with you for more than a few months before they quit, you got other problems besides Facebook. Okay? You need to work on your program. But I know that's not the issue with you guys, but you get my point. I am willing to spend that to acquire a member because they're going to stick with me for a while. Is my competition willing to spend $125 for an appointment? I don't think so. Matter of fact, I know this. Okay, so I have a huge advantage as it relates to that. But how do I figure that out? I'm taking what the initial payments are. Let's take December for a second. Let's say I brought in $5,000 in initial payments in December. That's how much they put for their first payment on their membership. Those are paid in fulls. Those are equipment purchases. Whatever initial money they paid, there's a number for that. You can go in your member manager. You can see that number, whatever it is. Then I divide that number by the amount of appointments I had. That's not everybody who bought from me, because some appointments didn't become members. So I divide it because now I can see, okay, when somebody comes in, I got to give them a uniform, I got to give them boxing gloves, whatever my promo is. So if I'm spending $60 on that, I know, okay, when they come in, it's going to cost me $60, but on average, I'm getting 125 back. So I'm willing to rock and roll with that all day long. Another interesting thing outside of Facebook is, think about this. When you know that number, think about this for a second. When you know that an appointment is worth $125 to you, and I don't know what it is. It could be worth, let's say it's 50. I don't want to get crazy with this, but it's higher than 50, I'm telling you. When you start to do that, you'll surprise yourself. But let's say it's $50, and you know the appointment is worth $50. And you want to set up a table somewhere where there's a lot of traffic at some store. And you go to the store and you say, hey, would it be okay if I set up a booth here? They're going to say, get out of my face. Why would I let you set up in front of all my customers and annoy my people? But if you go to them and you say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Store Owner, I got an awesome idea for you. People love our gym. We're very respected in the area. And I'd love to be able to set up a booth here. And I'll tell you what, for every appointment that we book at this booth, I will pay you $40. That's $10 cheaper than what I'm going to bring in on average. And the owner is going to get $40 a pop. And meanwhile, your competition's going around saying, hey, will you let me do this for free? You can use it in that. That's why that number is so key. You can use it to set up other deals with other businesses. You know you're bringing in $125 and you offer somebody $50. Not only are they going to be excited about that, but they're going to say, I'll tell you what, make sure you come Wednesday at 2 p.m. because that's when we're the busiest. Right? You're not taking any money out of their customers' pockets. All they're doing is booking an appointment. Okay, just another idea. I kind of went off on a tangent. It has nothing to do with Facebook, but it has to do with that number, right? Knowing that number. And then being able to go to a business and say, hey, man, let's do this. Okay?
Well, it's definitely, it's one of those numbers that it's so critical to have that with any marketing that you're doing. I know it's something that we look at all the time as well. And it helps you make those decisions and do it the right way. Yeah. So good question. And that actually kind of leads me to another topic that I think is important to talk about when we're talking about Facebook ads or any way to generate leads, is that you just mentioned that the return on this only comes into play once that person becomes an appointment and then becomes a new member. So we kind of have to close the full loop here. And that, I think, begs the question of, once you have these leads, what's next?
Yeah. Well, look, you gotta have a follow-up process. There's two things to this. One, on the thank you form, you want to make sure that you are encouraging them to contact you. Because you reaching out to them is going to take multiple attempts for the most part. Will you get people right away? Yes. Some people are going to call you right away too. And I'll tell you, it's going to blow your mind when you tell them to call you. because you're going to start getting calls. And we've tested this. We've tested a lot of different variations of this where we said you get a free week. Like basically we doubled the offer if you call us, and it did okay. But when we told people they were going to lose their spot, it was like phones ringing. Okay, so that works really well. Now, with that all said and done, you got to have a follow-up process. All right, and if you go into your member manager, and if you don't have this right now, we can give it to you somehow. And by we, I mean Miranda. And that is
my friends here at Member Solutions, yes.
Yeah, somebody over there. But they have access to all of the emails that I used in my member manager, including the lead flow. And the lead flow is calls, texts, and emails. Okay? As a matter of fact, hold on. Let me just share my screen real quick.
We're getting a little bonus here.
Yeah, I know we're getting a little. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Turn off
Hold up the lead just so you can kind of see. What we want to do is we want to put the leads into our system, obviously, and then we want to go over here and add them to our flow. Okay? And your lead flows, you should have multiple lead flows. Oh my God, it just logged me out. Dang security.
You have to protect your data.
I guess so. But the lead flows, oh, now what did I do? Hold on a second here. Let me click this. I opened a window within a window, so I might need to refresh. Okay. I'm just going to click something in here so I pull up all the list of all of these. And I'm just going to select the weight loss one because that's an easy one. And we're going to go right here under our lead flows. Okay, and you can see this person was added to the lead flow. This is an old lead, but you get the idea. Okay, you enter them in as a lead, and then you add them to a flow. And your flows are in your drop-down menu. Okay, now because they're already added to my weight loss one, it's not showing up here. Okay, but that's the one I would want to add that to, and then it's automatically going to take certain actions that are in that flow. Okay, so here's what happens, and I don't need that's basically the gist on how you do that. Let me come back over here and stop sharing my screen. So the deal is this: those emails, those texts, and if you're not using text with Member Manager, you need to add that. Those emails, those texts, and those call reminders, those are automatic. Don't have to worry about it. I'm going to get a reminder for it. The prospect's going to get a text from us if they're not responding. They're going to get an email from us if they're not responding. All done automatically. You don't even have to write the emails. You don't even have to write the text, I don't think. I think you can take my text. I think all of the flows are shareable, and I think we do that.
Yep.
But if you don't have them in your Member Manager right now, get them, because you got to have a follow-up process. And it's got to be aggressive. When they're interested, and you've got to get them in when they're interested. Because if you don't do it, your competition will do it. And it doesn't take your competition calling them 50 times. You could call them 4 times and you decide, okay, that's enough, and then enrolls your competition and calls them once and gets lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So you've got to follow up with them aggressively until you make contact. And that's a whole other webinar. If you think I'm too aggressive with my follow-up, look, you've got to be. But they want you to call. You're not going to annoy people. You're not going to turn them off. They want you to call them. They want you to contact them. That's why they became a lead in the first place. Okay? So do everything in your power to do that. And when it comes to email and texting, you should not be doing that manually. Use your Member Manager program to do it. And everybody on here pretty much should have Member Manager, I would assume. And if you don't know what the heck I'm talking about, you need to hook up, get dialed in on that. I mean, you're going to get the email for free. You're going to get the text for free. You're going to get the follow-up for free. Come on. Stop messing around. Probably preaching to the choir. I don't know who has it and who doesn't on here, but yeah, you want to use that. It's a tool. It's one less thing you got to do. You know?
And that also, I think, we went a bit over on time. Thank you, everyone, for sticking around. We wanted to make sure we covered everything despite the technical issues we had throughout. So thank you for bearing with us. We really appreciate that. And like Eric said, we really wanted to make this a start to finish process that you can use. So for those of you who do have Member Manager or want to start using it, you can start out with the ads, generate those low cost, high volume leads that Eric showed the proof for, and then you can follow through with that automatic follow-up in your software. So if you have any further questions, please feel free to shoot us an email, either to info@membersolutions.com or Eric, I don't know if you want to share your email as well.
Sure. Eric, ERIK @sellingmemberships. If you have any questions for me, you can message me there.
Yep.
And
we'll get back to you. Yeah. And
Perfect.
like I said, you will all get a copy of the recording as well as the slides and the ad copy that Eric shared as well.
And go out and implement what I shared with you today. And look, we gave you this info for free, right? Free info. But it's not free because I want to hear back on your results. Share them in the Client Solutions group and let us know how you're doing with it. Some of you guys send me emails and say, oh, that worked great. Share it with the Client Solutions so other people can kind of see what's working and get inspired and be confident about moving forward with it too. All right, so share us your
We'd love to see that.
All right. All right, good work today, ma'am.
Thanks, Eric. Great information. Thank you as always. And
You're welcome.
We'll see everybody next time.
All right, I'll talk to everybody soon. Let's finish. Hey, also, last thing. Let's finish out December strong, all right? No messing around. Get it done.
We want to hear success stories from every one of you.
Exactly. All right, talk to everybody later.